Folks, let's talk about Haiti, where the breakout in violence there continues to have an impact as American Airlines are pulling out of direct flights to Port-au-Prince. As a result, the nation has been having tons of turmoil. As a result of leadership there after the assassination of the president and all the back and forth that's been going on there. And so we want to talk about that with Nana Gyamfi, Executive Director of the Black Alliance for Just Immigration. She joins us right now. Of course, we're going to have, with this new administration, the return where going to be a significant number of Haitian Americans return to Haiti. Again, we're going to continue to have this United States treat Haitians totally different from Cubans.
Totally different from Cubans, totally different from Ukrainians, totally different from people who are clearly not being seen or are not Black people, right? And so thank you so much for having me on, Roland. This is a really critical situation that I'm appreciative that you keep this on the radar for folks, understanding that, as Mama Fannie Lou taught us, none of us are free until all of us are free. So whatever's happening in Haiti, we understand that it's just reflective of what is meant for all Black people around the world under white supremacy and racial capitalism.
So this decision by American Airlines to stop their daily flights from Miami to Port-au-Prince, again, impacts the ability to be able to get to the country. And so the political unrest there is impacting in so many different ways. And so it's very difficult for Haiti to move forward as long as this unrest continues.
Let me be clear that it's not just American Airlines, right? So it started with Spirit Airlines, and it was some of the other airlines. We've got FedEx, like anyone that or a company that is using planes right now is deciding and making the decision not to have planes go to Haiti, except for the United States when it's deporting Haitians. Suddenly it has it's clear political unrest is not impacting the capacity of the U.S. to deport Haitians, even as it has granted temporary protective status based on the dangers and conditions in Haiti, even as it allows its commercial airlines, whether it's for passengers or for packages, to stop landing in Haiti based upon the harm, the danger, the violence there. And so it keeps people who are Haitian from being able to connect with their folks, keeps people who are in Haiti from being able to come here, those who are able, fortunate enough to have passport and a ticket and capacity based upon U.S. policy to be able to come in. And all of this, when we talk about the political unrest, we have to remember, Roland, that political unrest is partially caused by the United States. There is this effort always, just as you see with what happens here in the United States with places that are majority African American, when there is an issue, whether it be violence, whether it be drugs, whatever the issue is, there's this tendency to make it seem like Black people are just wild and that they can't govern themselves and that they don't know what they're doing. And we're always the violent ones and the corrupt ones, et cetera. And there's not the tendency to express how this is happening and why this is happening. Right now, Haiti is actually not in Haitian hands, and we can talk about that more, but that is a big cause of the condition that we have right now in Haiti, be it the violence, the political instability, the economic instability. The United States has a big hand in it. Haitians actually do not.
Questions from my panel. I'll start with you, Mustafa.
Yeah, well, thank you for the information that you've been sharing. I've had the opportunity to be to Haiti a few times. I'm curious, we often have philanthropic organizations, nonprofit organizations, and others who play a small role, sometimes good, sometimes not so good. I'm curious if they're still on the ground, being able to provide some forms of support, and I assume that they're coming either across land bridges or through the oceans. But I'm curious what's happening in that space.
I will say this, that what we understand and the partners that we have at Baji, like Grassroots International, they are on the ground themselves and dealing with local entities that are on the ground. And that is where the best work is being done. It is community by community. It is local group by local group. It is neighbor by neighbor who are taking care of folks, trying to keep people safe, trying to make sure that people have food, trying to take care of children, to do some kind of education here on the side, even as the country infrastructure is falling down. There are some outside groups that are assisting. Those who are doing, when I say outside, some of them are Haitian-led, but they're in the United States or in Canada, right, or other countries. And those, of course, have connections, again, directly to the people in Haiti. And those are the ones that are being the most successful because they understand that they need to connect with folks that are on the ground. And I'm thinking of groups like Haitian Women for Haitian Refugees. I'm thinking of groups like Haiti Action Committee and, of course, Grassroots International that I mentioned and so many others. And then there's those big groups that come in and think Hurricane Katrina, right? The big groups come in, maybe they help a little bit. But a lot of what they do is collect a lot of money and collect a lot of resources and don't give out as much. And as we saw with Hurricane Katrina, and again, any of these catastrophes that happen in our communities, it is the people that are on the ground. And if you connect with the people on the ground, that's how you're able to be effective. And so some of this is not requiring planes because you're actually looking at the resources that are already there and figuring out how to best use those resources. But it's going to be harder with these planes not coming in.
Randy.
Airline outside of Haiti. Is that Sunrise Airline? It's called the local airline in Haiti. I'm wondering, I know they're still flying in between the United States and Haiti. Do you know if they are going to increase the number of flights they're doing just to try to make a difference in the other airlines, all the other airlines stopping air travel to Haiti?
I don't know the answer to that question. I will say, just sort of looking at history, you still have to have the resources to make that happen. And some of the places where Haiti, our neighbors would naturally get those resources. We were talking earlier about the economy and what's happening. In some places, it's booming a little better than others. But a lot of those places that would normally be of support are not necessarily there to be in that critical space. We remember that when Venezuela was up and running, when you had these type of situations that, before the sanctions of the United States, Europe, et cetera, they would give oil, right? They give gas so that you could put that into these planes, put airplane fuel in here and make it happen. That is not the case because Venezuela don't have that. That's not the case with Cuba because of the sanctions being listed as a country of state terror by the United States has made it so that Cuba can't do what it once did. CARICOM is providing some support, but not the support in the commercial type of ways. And so not sure how that's going to move now with Sunrise, but it feels to me, based upon what the normal places you would have to lean on, that that's going to be harder for them to be able to do to scale, though I'm sure they'd love to do so.
Thank you.
Joe.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for the information and for the work that you're doing. A couple short questions with a little expansion. The two questions are, what can people do and how can people help? So what can people do to sound the alarm on something that still doesn't get the attention that it should be getting, right? This inequity that we see with how Black countries and people that are potentially politically persecuted, et cetera, are treated as it pertains to getting from here to America or getting resources and help that truly should be there. And the second, how can people help? And I think you alluded to this a little bit in terms of the specific organizations that are on the ground, smaller organizations that are specialized and really know how to stretch a buck, as it were, or use the resources, know where the problems are, those types of things. Can you give us some information on that?
Absolutely. So I would say that in terms of internally, the kinds of things that we can do, firstly, is if you are in a place like Florida, New York, Boston and Massachusetts, places where we have large Haitian populations, but even places like Los Angeles, where I live, where the populations are not as large, let's get in touch with Haitian organizations locally. and see what people are doing for their folks at home, how people are connecting to their people at home, and how folks are getting there. Because as we all know, we're going to make it happen. People are going to figure out how they can support their families. That is the history of Black folks. Wherever we are, we're going to make it do what it do. And so let's connect to those folks to make sure that that's happening. That's community support, right? The other, so, if there's funds to be raised, et cetera, let us do that. Let's pour our hearts out as we always do. When it comes to governmental support, there's something called the Congressional Black Caucus. And I remember, particularly in the days of Trans-Africa, Randall Robinson, et cetera, when Haiti was really put in the center of a lot of conversations because of folks from CBC, right, and other traditional civil rights organizations, Black organizations that understood the connection to Haiti, the first republic in the Western Hemisphere, and what it meant to Black people everywhere, during that time period, which is part of why, the success of that Haitian Revolution, we know is part of why Haiti's being punished. Think about how Cuba's being punished for its successful revolution and all that they've done. So imagine what Haiti must have meant at that time and what it means still. And we've got to remind the Congressional Black Caucus that Haiti is still important, not just in rhetoric, but actually moving to get some things done. I know that's harder to do as this new administration comes in. This is an administration that indicated that Haitians were eating cats and dogs. So clearly, they're not a friend of Haiti, right, or of Haitians. And at the same time, in the words of Sojourner Truth to Frederick Douglass, talking about the end of chattel slavery, when he was a little concerned, she turned to him and said, "Is God dead?" Right? Like, we have to still push forward. We've got to prepare. We've got to protect. We've got to press forward as we're looking at what's happening in Haiti, what's happening in Sudan, what's happening in the Congo and Cameroon, and so many of our countries in the continent, in the Caribbean, what's happening with Black folks in our communities here. We can't just lay back and decide that all is lost, game over. We have to continue to push and demand from elected officials who have the power to do something, that they do something and that they do a lot.
Hi, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Fanbase is a free to download, free to use, next generation social media platform that allows anyone to have followers and subscribers on the same page. Fanbase was built through investment dollars from equity crowdfunding from the Jobs Act. People just like you help build Fanbase, and we're looking for more people to help build Fanbase. We are currently raising $17 million in a Regulation 8 crowdfund on Start Engine. We've already crossed $2.1 million, but we're looking to raise more capital from people just like you that deserve the opportunity to invest in early stage startups without having to be accredited investors. So right now, I'd like you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase right now, today. And then use Fanbase to connect with friends, grow your audience, and be you without limits.